Hey everybody, I'd like to dive into when the poop hits the fan plan. I've talked about this recently, but I want to talk about one specific aspect. Sorry for the bouncing. My car holder is kind of not all that secure. Anyhow, I'm 𝘧𝗔𝗍𝗵𝗔 of 𝘧𝗵𝗔 Law. We're in estate planning practice in New York and New Jersey. If you need our assistance, we are available and would love to help. We offer free consultations. We can help you create your estate plan or, of course, administer one after the loss of a loved one. The best way to reach us for that consult is yourplanningattorney.com. That's yourplanningattorney.com. We are educating on a frequent basis, and all we can ask of you is that you share so that together we can help some folks along the way. So when the poop hits the fan, this is the plan when you are no longer able to live independently. Sucks, I know, but it's unfortunately a very frequent fact of the case if you get to old age. So what are some things that you should consider? Certainly, where you're going to be is a factor. Most folks would say, I'm going to stay home. I want to stay home. Not always the easiest thing. If that is your intention, like a couple that I have as clients who were doing renovations on their home for that purpose, to live in place as best as they could. They did have the funds to be able to pay for caretakers to come into that home, and they were modifying it to serve their purposes from here until the end, which is very forward thinking and good. If your home is not adaptable, everything's adaptable if you have the funds and you want to do so, but, a home with stairs and things like that becomes much more difficult over time. So what are the alternatives? Well, modifying that home so that you are on one level, if that's feasible, with ingress and egress, obviously, to the outside world. That means, kitchen on first floor, full bathroom on first floor, bedroom on first floor. A location that has that type of accessibility, whether that means moving to a 55 and older community or a progressive community that has care at a later stage, and those types of things. That's, an option 2. Option 3, I guess, would be also in a child's home if they have the aforementioned accessibility points, bedroom, kitchen, full bathroom on the first floor, with easy ingress in and out of the home. I'm sure there are other options, but those are a few that I've thought of quickly here. I think the bigger difficulty can be the who. Most homes, like I said, are can be made as accessible as long as you have the funds to do so. So it's the who will be helping you at that stage. Really, there are 2 options: family or a third party. I've had this discussion fairly recently with my sister-in-law, shout out to Michelle, and some other folks. And I thought back as, when my grandmother, my nanny, was being taken care of in my home, childhood home, by my mom. At that point in life, my mom was not, didn't need to work full time. Could she have? Yes. Was she capable? Yes. Would it have helped? Sure. But she didn't have to. And so she took that time and committed herself to taking care of my nanny in our childhood home, and was able to. I unfortunately didn't really get a chance to ask my mom how she really felt about that, but I think she was proud of the fact that she could be there for her mom. I'm not going to ask her now. But in discussions again with my sister-in-law and some other people, the dynamic in the world has changed. And I think thinking through how that can change the dynamic of your relationship is also a part of the discussion, because I've had a lot of clients and children of clients who say, I'm taking a leave of absence, or, I live with mom or dad and I'm going to be their caretaker. But I've also seen the challenge and the struggle in that, because it is a lot of work. And I've seen this on the professional and the personal side. It's a lot of work for one individual to manage. Now, that does depend greatly on the type of health that they're caring for in that loved one. And it could be very wide range of assistance. So, considering that if you have the flexibility and you want to be there, you absolutely should be. But when diseases are complex and require more attention, where you do need to work because you're unable to take a leave of absence, especially one maybe that's paid for a period of time. Certain states do have paid family leave for certain circumstances. And by all means, if you have that accessible to you and you're willing and you're able to emotionally and physically be there for your loved one, you should be. But on the other end of it, know that sometimes that requires a lot of you as an individual, personally and physically. And would it be what your parent would want for you, if it's your parent or grandparent or other loved one? And would you be better served by finding a reliable individual who is willing to care for that person day in, day out, where you could be there for them emotionally and physically at all the times that you can give, while not necessarily, sorry for the shadow there, guys, with the sun flare, where you can give your most in those moments, but also not damage your own health and or the relationship that you have with that person. My sister-in-law mentioned a friend who said she had done so for her mom, but in the end, no longer felt like she was her daughter. She was just her caretaker. And that's a hard pill to swallow. So these are just some of the discussions that really need to be had. And sorry to belabor it a little. It's been top of mind. Something I've had, been speaking about with folks, and thought it could be some food for thought for your discussion about when the poop hits the fan. Because unfortunately, if we live to old age in America, likely it is we're going to need that care. Of course, if you're going to be relying on Medicaid at any given point, you really have to go with a Medicaid eligible agency, and that would be that. So, although some states do allow a Medicaid appointed individual, New York had this. I think they've modified it some, and other states may have something similar. But again, that choice to be the caretaker for a loved one should be taken with a lot of thought, because it's no joke. All right, folks. Again, 𝘠𝗵𝗶𝘀 law. We're an estate planning practice in New York, New Jersey. We do our very best to provide peace of mind to families every day through our high client value services. If you need our assistance, you can reach out for a free consult at yourplanningattorney.com. We would be happy to help. And I think that's about it. Don't forget to share. See ya.